Hi everyone, I am R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today, in this video lecture, I am going to explain you the types of inversion kinematic chain, that is, inversions of the single slider crank chain mechanisms. So, in earlier classes, we have discussed about some of these mechanisms. In this video lecture, we are going to see some more mechanisms, and this is my seventh lecture regarding to the subject kinematics of machinery. So the next mechanism is oscillating cylinder engine. So you can see it in the picture also. The arrangement of these oscillating cylinder engine mechanisms is to convert the reciprocating motion into a rotary motion. So generally in the slider crank mechanism, it is used to convert the rotary motion into reciprocating motion. But in the oscillating cylinder engine, it is used to convert reciprocating motion into the rotary engine. So here we are taking it as four links. So you can see it in the picture also. Link one is the piston rod. So this is the link one, which acts as the piston rod here. And link 2 is the crank, which is connected to a wheel, and link 3 is the connecting rod, which is the fixed link, and link 4 is the cylinder. So these are the four links. In this mechanism, the link 3 forming the turning pair is fixed. So link 3 is forms a turning pair and it is the fixed link here. The link 3 corresponding to the connecting rod of a reciprocating steam engine mechanism. So this link 3 in this mechanism is the fixed link. When the crank, that is the link 2, rotates, the piston attached to the piston rod reciprocates. So this is the piston here and it is connected to the piston rod. So that is the link 1, which is known as the piston rod. It is fixed to the piston. When the crank rotates, this piston rod is used to move in the forward and backward direction. And the cylinder, which is the link 4, oscillates about a pin pivoted to the fixed link at A. So here it moves the position from this side. So this is the forward and backward movement of the piston here, which is connected to the piston rod. So this is the mechanism observed here. So when the crank rotates in the clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, the link connected to the piston rod and the piston moves forward and backward direction. So it is used to reciprocate in that direction. And here link 3 is fixed, so that the connecting rod is fixed here, and the cylinder attached to the piston rod has a piston in the internal chamber. So this is the internal piston here, which is directly connected to the piston rod, and this reciprocates in the forward and backward movement, and the motion is converted to reciprocating motion into the rotary motion. So that is the purpose of the oscillating cylinder engine, which is connected to the crank. So this is the 3D view of a oscillating cylinder engine. And let us now see the animation of the working of a oscillating cylinder. So here we are seeing the oscillating cylinder mechanism. This is also called as steam engine mechanisms also. So in the steam engine, we are using this mechanism. That is why it is also called as steam engine mechanism. In this mechanism is the inversion of the single slider crank chain. So you are seeing the 3D picture of the mechanism. So that is the crank wheel here. So that is the crank wheel here. So which is fixed to the piston rod, and this is the piston, and outside part is the cylinder. So this is the cylinder fixed to a clamp. So pivoted, which is fixed with the help of a bottom flange. So this green color one is the piston, which is outside fixed with the cylinder, which oscillates. So the cylinder is not in the rigid position; it is in the oscillating position. And this is the crank, and this is the motor shaft, which is connected to the crank rotating member. And let us now see the working of this oscillating cylinder engine mechanism. So when the crank rotates, it has three turning pairs and one sliding pair. So generally in the oscillating cylinder mechanism, it has three turning pairs and one sliding pair. The cylinder is pivoted to the frame. So this is the frame here. So yellow, which is in the yellow color, and the cylinder is pivoted, that is attached to the frame, due to which whole cylinder is free to oscillate about the front. So this frame is used to, so like that. So ఇలా మనకి ఆ సిలిండర్ అనేది మూవ్ అవుతుందమ్మా, ఎందుకంటే ఈ ఫ్రేమ్ కి ఫిక్స్ చేసాం మనం. సో ఫ్రేమ్ ఫిక్స్ చేయడం కూడా మనకి ఒక సిలిండర్ షాఫ్ట్ తో ఫిక్స్ చేసాం కాబట్టి అటు ఇటు మూవ్ అవుతుంది, అన్ని ఆసిలేషన్ అంటాం ఇక్కడ. సో ఎప్పుడైతే క్రాంక్ అనేది రొటేట్ అవుతుందో దాంతో ఉన్న కనెక్టివిటీతో ఉన్న పిస్టన్ రాడ్, పిస్టన్ అనేది రెసిప్రొకేట్ అవుతుంది. So the pivot is called as the mounting trunnion. So this is called the trunnion here, which is mounted. Mounted means fitted. So these oscillating cylinder engine mechanism is used in the printing process. So generally they are used in the printing process, making of toys and marine engines. So these are the general applications or uses of these oscillating cylinder engine mechanism. So that is the working. So this is the real oscillating cylinder mechanism. So that is the piston rod, which is attached to the crank, and that is the frame. That is the cylinder, which is fixed to the frame. So when the crank rotates, it is attached to the piston rod, and the piston rod reciprocates the piston which is inside the cylinder, which is inside the cylinder. So this is the working, you can see it in the video. So when we use it to rotate the crank by hand, it is used to reciprocate on the forward and backward direction in the cylinder. So that is the working. That is the real oscillating cylinder. Which you can see in the industries for the showcase purpose only. But in the engines, that is in the steam engines, we can directly see in the industry. So that is all about the oscillating cylinder mechanism. Next mechanism is the rotary internal combustion engine mechanism. So generally these rotary internal combustion engine mechanisms are used in the aviation purpose only, but nowadays gas turbines are also used in its place, so it has less use of work, and it consists of 7 cylinders in one plane, which you can see in the picture also. It consists of 7 cylinders in one plane, and all revolves about the fixed center, which is shown in the figure. So this is the fixed center here. So when the crank moves, these fixed centers all revolves at a fixed center. So these cylinders can revolve in support of one fixed center when the crank is fixed. In this mechanism, the connecting rod is rotated. So these are the connecting rods here. So it has 7 connecting rods, and the piston reciprocates inside the cylinder form a link 1. So this is the link 1, which is the fixed link in the cylinder, and link 2 is the crank here. So which is the fixed center, that is called as the crank here. You can see the real 3D view of the rotary internal combustion engine in the right side picture. So this is the 3D picture here. So general picture of a rotary internal combustion engine. So here in total we have 7 cylinders. So 7 cylinders which is fixed to the crank here. So all those have the connecting rods which is fixed to the crank at the center position. So when the crank rotates and all the cylinders revolve about the fixed center, that is the fixed crank. So when the center is fixed to the, it is used to rotate in the or oscillates in the other direction. So this is the picture of the rotary engine. So these are the 7 cylinders. This is the crank here which is fixed. So this is the 3D view of the rotary internal combustion engine. So we can see a animation video of the rotary internal combustion engine. So that is the working of the internal rotary engine, which is attached to the aeroplane front part. So there you can see the 7 cylinders and 7 pistons for moving forward and backward movement with a fixed crank. With a fixed crank. So these are the gold color one is the pistons, which is connected to the connecting rods, and all those connecting rods are connected to a crank, which is seen in the red color. So while it is moving in the forward direction or backward direction, these 7 cylinders is used to oscillate. So here link 1 is the cylinder. So all the cylinders comes under the link 1, and link 2 is the fixed crank. So the link 2 is the fixed crank, and link 3 is the piston which is moving forward and backward direction, and link 4 is the connecting rod. So the link 4 is the connecting rod. So these are the different parts or links of a rotary engine. Let's see the working. So that is the working of a rotary engine. So here we can see it in the wooden part also. So here they are taken the 6 cylinders. So these are the cylinders, and this is the piston here. And here they taken 6 cylinders instead of 7. So we can take any number of cylinders according to the work and usage. So this is the fixed crank here. So when the fixed link moves in the direction, they use it to rotate in the same direction, and all the cylinders are moving in that direction only. So this is the slowest motion. So when it is used to move in that direction, the other also move in that direction only. So this is about the rotary engine. Next one is the hand pump. So this is also a inversion of the single thread kinematic chain. So generally these water hand pumps are manually operated pumps, and they are used for bringing the water from earth underground to the earth surface, and is used in every country for a variety of industrial, marine irrigation and household purposes. So they are used for different types of purposes. So in the picture you can see the hand pump. So in the hand pump, this is the pump rod which is fixed to the cylinder, and the piston valve. This is the foot valve and the rising main. So this is the water position here, water level position, which is used to suction in the outlet position piston. So when you use it to lift the piston valve, it is easy to open the foot valve and the water comes into the foot valve, and this is transferred to the outlet piston. There you can see the outlet piston there. Now we can see the hand pump mechanism also in animation. So this is the general working. So this is the rising main. The gasket is fixed to the rising main to the base, and they are all screwed up. So a cylinder or a pump body is fixed to the base. So this is the plunger which is connected to a connecting rod. And this connecting rod is fixed to the handle. So that is the working position of the hand pump. You can see the cross section here. So water is lifted from the sump. So as the handle is pushed down, the piston is raised and reducing air pressure in the cylinder. And as the handle is pulled up, the piston valve opens and check valve is closed. preventing water from falling down to the pipe. So falling back down to the pipe. So that is the valve here, open valve. So the water comes from the sump end. So generally these hand pumps are manually operated pumps and they use the human power and mechanical advantage to move the fluids or air from one place to another. So generally they are used to move the water only. They are widely used in every country in the world for a variety of industrial as well as marine, irrigation and leisure activities. And there are many different types of hand pumps available, mainly operating on a piston diaphragm or rotary vane principle with a check valve on the entire entry and to the ports to the chamber, operating in opposite directions. So this is the working of another video. So these are the parts. So the water level in the sump is increasing when we push the handle, and partial vacuum is created from the water. So the water is lifted from the suction and comes from the outlet position. So that is the working of the hand pump. So that is all about the hand pump. So this is a simple illustration of the hand pump which we can make it at home. So take a syringe and which is used as the cylinder, drill it the washer there. So when the handle is moved, the piston comes from the topmost direction. Is to fix an outlet here. So take an empty box as the sump. So the water is coming from the sump to clear the level. So that is the basic one which we can work out at home. So these are all about the inversions of slinging slider mechanisms. So in the next class we use it to define some more mechanisms in a single slider crank chain. Thank you. Thank you.